Hi everybody. I usually report on a game that I've just seen either the day before or that day. But today, for the first time ever, I thought I'd do a preview since it's the Scottish Cup final between Rangers and Celtic at Hampden, the first Old Firm final in 22 years. And I fondly remember that one when Lovenkrands scored the last minute winner to beat Celtic 3-2 and win the cup. So I'm hoping for the same again this afternoon, although I can't really see it. Uh, the thing about this is, the whole week I've not been looking forward to this. Now I'm beginning to get a bit more excited, a bit more hopeful, but as they always say, it's the hope that kills you. Why haven't we, mostly Rangers fans, been looking forward to this final? Because Celtic have been playing better, they're on form, we're the opposite. They've got their full team available. We've got 8, 9, 10 injuries or injury doubts, so I hate to think the lineup Big Phil will play. So that, the last couple of months of form or lack of it, some of our guys have shown the injuries. Celtic on top of the world, presumably, it's not looking good. I've been scratching around trying to find some sort of consolation, some sort of reason for hope, and the best I could come up with was one of my very first Scottish Cup finals, 1966, when I was at Hampden to see Rangers beat Celtic in a replay when Kai Johansson scored the only goal of the game. And it was about 25 minutes from the end, I think. And for the last 25 minutes, Celtic bombarded us, but we held out, and Kai became King Kai forevermore. And that was an unexpected win. Nobody, pundits, fans, expected Rangers to beat Celtic. And that was the Celtic team that won the European Cup a year later, minus, I think, 2 players were added to that team. So that was a great achievement, an unexpected victory, and I'm holding out hope that the same thing could happen again, although neither team is as good as the 2 teams, obviously, that I saw in 1966. While I'm on that subject, I'm putting to the back of my mind the 1969 Old Firm Cup final, which was the worst defeat I've ever seen from the Rangers in a Scottish Cup final by Celtic. That's when they beat us 4-0, scoring in the second minute thanks to a Billy McNeil header, and that was the one where Alex Ferguson, our centre forward, got the blame for not marking him as he had been told. So they scored in the second minute. The game evened out for the first half, and then just before half time they scored 2 quick fire goals to go in 3-0 at half time. Cup won. Now, where have we heard that before? That pattern of play in Old Firm games in recent years. So I'm hoping that isn't going to happen today. So as we get nearer the time, I'll be leaving soon, driving to Hampden. I've got my ticket, so I'll be in there in the upper south stand with a great view. But what will it be a great view of? That's my worry. If it's a victory, we'll be in 7th heaven. Who cares about the league if we can just beat them today and win the cup? When you think about it, the odds are against us. As I say, so many injuries, guys who are definitely out, guys who are dubious. So picking a team, very difficult. I don't know. It depends on, as I say, who's available. At least we've got Super Jack Butland in goal, so he'll play. Tavernier will be the right back. Davis will play in central defence. We don't know the other 2 positions. Hopefully Balogun might make it, at least for half the game. If not, it's got to be Sterling going in there. And if Ridvan and Barisic doesn't make it, Sterling will have to go to left back or bring in young Robbie Fraser, which I wouldn't be terrified of if he came in. In fact, I'd probably rather see him than Barisic start. So the defence is a shambles depending on who's picked. Midfield, we know Big Phil loves John Lundstrom, so he'll be back, although hardly any fan wants him in the midfield. Diamandi will play. If it's a 4-2-3-1, I would expect McCausland, Cantwell and Seema to start with Drossers up front, although I would have Silva going through the middle and see if he can do better there. He can't do any worse than Drossers, that's for sure. So that'd be my forward four, if you like. There's a case to be made for Raskin coming in midfield and move Diomande up a bit. Depends how fit Sima is, if we get a half out of him, half an hour. What I want to see though is our best team possible starting the game. There's no good keeping guys in reserve and bringing them on with half an hour to go when you're losing. We've got to get the lead, and then we can swap people who are tired or not fit and hope to hold on. But if we go behind and then bring these guys on, it never works. We never do come back. So I want to see the best team we've got available starting. And as I sit here, who knows what that is, because we just don't know who's going to be available. We want to get stuck in, obviously. We want to harass them, don't give them time in the ball. And lo and behold, if we could just have somebody say to one of our players, you just follow McGregor everywhere and tackle him and harass him, and don't give him all that time and space to look about, move about, and then pass it or have a shot. Oh, and by the way, we don't want them shooting from 20 yards. Anytime you see replays of the last few games, the number of goals they've scored from the 18-yard line or just outside the box is unbelievable. We've got to block shots, throw ourselves in front of them. We've got to block crosses, and while we're at it, if there's somebody in the left wing trying to get a cross in, if we don't block it, whoever the left back is has got to be watching for whoever's lingering at the back post, because the number of goals we lose at the back post is just ridiculous. So the full backs have got to be on their game, either blocking crosses or being aware of what's around them, especially behind them as the ball is about to be crossed to the back post. So that's one of the number one priorities, I would say. Hopefully we'll have enough bodies fit that we could play Sterling in midfield, because he'd be my guy to mark McGregor in midfield. But I can't see there being enough fit players for him to play there, so I think he'll be in defence. Left back, central defence, who knows. I hope McCausland gets a game, because he'll get stuck in. He's got a bit of pace. He's scored in the last couple of games. He looks as if he's fit and in form and raring to go, so give him a game. Sima is our best forward, so if only we could get 30 minutes at the beginning of the game out of him, or even the first half, that would do me. So these two guys are potential match winners, either on scoring or creating goals. Cantwell, he'll get stuck in, he'll give you plenty of energy and running, and he can shoot, but I don't know if the manager will start him. I think he'll be more conservative, and he'll play the likes of Lundstrom, who'll lumber about, cumbersome John, lumbering around, totally outpaced by the Celtic midfield. And let's hope he doesn't try and make up for his disastrous Parkhead game, because if he does, by charging about and lunging into tackles, he'll end up getting another red card, and that's the last thing we need. It'd be nice to actually play them and play them with 11 men for the whole game, although we are inferior as a team, so that might not make much difference anyhow. So hope springs eternal. I'm looking forward to it now. I'll be going soon. I'll be driving to Hampden soon to get a parking space, so I feel the excitement building up, and after this I might actually try some TikTok interviews with some of the fans outside Hampden before I go in. That'll be a first for me. Try and get ones who don't swear or are maybe a bit more optimistic than I am, so look out for that. I might do that if I can get a signal. I might post the interviews before the game starts. I'll take some footage, obviously, as the teams come out, etc. And probably tomorrow, once I've watched my recording of the game all over again, I'll give you my last report on Rangers this season. Come on the Jers!